Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, welcome. My name's Tolu. On this channel, I share content all around personal finance, budgeting, frugal living, and I show you how to live your best life on a budget. So if this is your first time stopping by, like I said, welcome. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is bringing you episode number 6 of T Money Talks. So if you're not familiar with T Money Talks, just to give you a quick overview, T Money Talks is a weekly Instagram live series that I do. So every week on Tuesday at 8 p.m, you can find me on Instagram Live having a real open money conversation with a special guest. So in today's episode, I'm so excited because I was joined by two amazing guests, so not one but two, a lovely and amazing couple called Chris and Stacey Lanor. And in this live, they shared their debt-free stories. So they share very openly about how they were able to pay off £14,000 worth of debt. But what was fantastic about the conversation is not only did they talk about how they were able to overcome the debt, but they were so open in sharing how they ended up there in the first place and the impact that it had on their marriage and on their relationship. So this is definitely one that you're going to want to stick around for. So like I say, every single week, grab yourself some snacks, grab yourself a hot drink and a pen of paper, and stay tuned because it's an amazing episode. So if you like this kind of content, you know what to do. Give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so. And without further ado, I'm going to bring you episode number 6 of T Money Talks. Hey guys, hey everyone, welcome to episode number 6 of T Money Talks. I can't believe it's episode number 6 already, it's crazy. We're basically almost halfway through the first season, which is fantastic. So thank you all for joining me on this live. So today, I'm going to be joined by a special guest. We're going to be talking all about their debt story. In fact, I'm not even going to be joined by a special guest. I'm actually going to have 2 special guests for you today. So just to give you a bit of a background in case this is your first time jumping on one of these lives, T Money Talks is a series that I've started on Instagram where we have weekly conversations all about money. So all the taboo subjects of money that we don't like to often talk about, we'll be talking about it during these live series. So every week I'm joined by a special guest to talk about one money topic or another. So with that being said, in today's episode, I actually have 2 special guests joining me. They're called Debt-Free Lanors on Instagram. I know them as Stacey and Chris. They're an amazing couple doing amazing things. In the space of 19 months, they were able to pay off £14,000 worth of debt. Now that's a lot of debt that they were able to pay off together as a team. But what I really wanted to do is kind of talk about how that, should I say, what I want to explore with them in this conversation is the impact that it had on their marriage and how they were able to navigate through the whole debt journey. Because I know obviously when we get married we say our vows for richer for poorer, but when we actually have to follow through with those vows, in reality what does that actually look like? So with that being said, I'm going to get Chris and Stacey on right now and we're going to really jump into this conversation for you. So yeah, hi everyone, hi Ronnie Charles, hi Investor Generation, hi everyone, thanks for joining, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for all the love hearts. I see you. Oh, one other thing to mention actually before I get them on. This is an interactive session, guys. So if you have any questions, any comments, drop them in the question box below and we'll answer them as they come up during the conversation. So yeah, feel free to comment, ask questions, get involved in the conversation. Let's get Stacey and Chris on now. Brilliant. Hi, Rookie. Hi, Wigs Inc. Okay, they're joining us now. Hopefully, fingers crossed. They're actually international, they're in Germany. So this is my first international guest that I'm having on the live. So this should be interesting. Hopefully, they can join us. Waiting. How's everyone doing this evening? Hi, we think hi, God. Oh, brilliant, we got you. Hey guys, hey.
Hey.
Hello, hey Chris, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the live.
Thank you.
You have to do what you have to do.
Can you hear us well?
Perfect, yeah, the line is perfect, yes.
Yay.
I was a bit nervous, I was like, we haven't guessed before, so I was like, how's this going to go? But good, so that's brilliant. Okay, so I've done a pre-introduction and given the people a bit of an overview about you guys, but it would be great if you could introduce yourselves in your own words.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So, I'm Chris.
And I'm Stacey.
And together we are Chris and Stacey.
Fair enough. Okay.
We are a ministry couple. We've been married for 10 years. We've got 2 little kids.
Oh, 10 years! Wow.
Yeah. And we have cleared off a ton of debt.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're happy to be. Thank you so much, Salu.
And since,
thank you guys for coming on, man. It's amazing. Amazing.
And since July, we now live in Hamburg, Germany.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
that itself is very interesting.
Yes.
What are you guys doing in Hamburg, Germany?
Hello.
Say it again, please.
What are you guys doing in Hamburg, Germany? Sorry for those that don't know.
All right, yeah. So primarily, we're there to start and pioneer a new church, and then yeah.
That's the main goal.
That's
Start
the
a
main
new
goal,
church.
yeah.
So
Pioneering
learning a new language and everything. So
wow,
it's
amazing.
an adventure.
No, I can imagine. It's literally a whole adventure. It's amazing.
Kids and everything. It's good though. It's good.
It's been good.
No, amazing. Okay, cool. So we're going to kick off. So before we get into the whole debt-free journey and sharing your story, what I like to do to get my guests comfortable and for myself as well to kind of calm my nerves is do a little bit of an icebreaker.
Okay.
So what I'm going to give you guys is a different kind of icebreaker to the one I usually do. Usually I ask questions like, would you rather A or B? But obviously because I've got you as a couple, what I want to do is like couples would like A or B. So Stacey or Chris, basically. So do you guys have your shoes?
Yeah, let's hope this goes well because if it doesn't, there might not be any chat. I don't know.
So basically, I'm just going to ask a question, and if it's Stacey that does it, then obviously you put up the red shoe, and if it's Chris, put up the black shoe. And then obviously the idea is that you both answer this question the same.
Okay.
But 10 years, so no pressure.
All right.
Lot of mercy.
No
Lot of mercy.
Let's go.
Okay. So first question, we'll start off lightly. Who is the funniest?
Huh?
Who's the funniest?
Oh.
Sorry, no, it was the wrong shoe. It was the wrong shoe. Sorry.
Let's try that again. Who's the funniest?
There we go.
Oh, okay. Who has better taste in music? Okay, we need you guys to be in sync. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then we show you, okay?
Because I need to. Okay, go on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3.
Okay, we're with it. Lot of mercy.
So who is the messiest? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, so we're both saying you are. That's cute.
We're 2 messy people.
What was that?
We're both a bit messy, to be fair. Yeah, so I think that's fair.
I prefer organized chaos, but hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Organized mess. So long as you know where everything is. It's
Yeah,
cool.
That's right.
Okay, who has the most clothes?
Yeah. Yeah. But sometimes I really think about it, babe, and I'm not sure. When we moved,
Yeah.
No, I think he has more clothes when I really think about it.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't change it. I think the first answer is
Yeah.
Stacey has too much clothes, so we're going to need to do some decluttering. Okay, next one. I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. Who's the best cook? 1, 2, 3. Yes.
I only cook survival food.
Yeah. You have no choice but
How
to
many
say
times have you cooked in 10 years, babe?
Yeah.
Wow.
About that.
Two times. 2 times.
in 10 years.
10 years.
Wow.
Yep, 2 times. But it's for everyone's health and
But
safety.
he does all the washing up, so it's okay. It's all right. It's
There
okay.
we go. Teamwork.
Yes.
Teamwork. Okay. Who's most likely to forget your wedding anniversary? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, probably me. I'm not putting mine high enough. Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
both of us probably.
Okay. Who's most likely to admit when they're wrong? 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Mhm.
I know.
Okay.
I've got this thing called ego. that most
Yeah.
guys have.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a work in progress.
Okay. 3 more questions. Who's more likely to be late for an event? Okay.
Yeah.
But you got too many clothes, so you don't know what to wear.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my strong point.
No.
Yeah, being on time is not my strong point. But Chris has been very gracious with me, and we've learned to compromise and get 2 cars, so that helps.
Yeah.
Oh,
key is
2
to
cars.
get the second-
So I can't make him late. Yeah.
So you can't make him late. Funny you should say. The next question is who's the better driver? 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
What?
Wait.
Whoa. How many accidents have you been in?
Oh.
Okay, one. That wasn't my fault.
Yeah, but you still were in accident, babe.
Someone reversed into me
Yeah,
in
but-
KFC car park.
But that's still an accident to lose. I feel like,
So you're the better driver.
and I've been driving for longer, so just
Yeah.
hashtag same.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay, so the last question is, who is the biggest spender? Okay,
Yeah.
that is interesting. So that's the perfect.
Yeah, I think. But I feel like I spend more because I buy all the household stuff. So I feel like that's a little bit unfair on women. Because if the things that need replacing and stuff like that, you only have to buy for yourself. I have to buy for me, you, and the kids.
Possibly,
so
yeah.
you know,
True.
yeah.
So it's a bit of an unfair question, you say.
But then I guess, but then I think you may buy more frequent stuff, whereas I might buy big, large items that probably the same amount, right?
Yeah, but I probably spend more anyways. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I almost lost the screen. Perfect. Okay, so that's a perfect segue into the conversation that we're going to have right now, talking about money. So what I wanted to know before we get into the crux of it is a bit of a backstory. So how you guys obviously met and how you got together and how you knew that each other were the one. Just to set the scene a bit.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll give my version of it.
Sure. As brief as you can, but with as much detail.
Well, she headhunted me.
Can you see this?
Yeah,
Can you see this?
She was one of those
headhunted. Wow.
You know, like those recruiters on LinkedIn, always assistant.
Wow.
No,
wow.
But we met in church, right?
Yeah, we met in church, and I kind of liked him, and I told my pastor, I think I kind of like him, and then pastor was like, okay, we'll see what happens. And I don't know what happened from your end.
Shall never be disclosed in public. No, but yeah, I think we were friends. What helped is that we were friends from before, and we had a lot of things, I guess, already in common. And so, and then also she moved after uni. She moved back to Wolverhampton and stuff, and then the scales fell off.
The scales, you know.
Yeah, and then it was a case of we get on so well. Why not see if we could take this further? Yeah. And then we got married 10 months after that.
And I just like to say our first unofficial date was at Subway. He asked me to go to Subway after outreach. So yeah.
And I'm glad she said yes. Yeah. Because here we are today.
A little what is it? BLT. Yeah.
Oh wow. Fair enough.
So, we met and we dated for 10 months. And after 6 months, we got engaged, and then 4 months later, we got married.
Yeah.
So from dating to marriage was 10 months.
Wow. Marriage was 10 months. Yeah. From August to June.
Yeah. That's amazing. And 10 years later, look,
10 years later,
it's
good. It is good.
Okay, so that's interesting. So 10 months you guys were dating. So within that 10 months that you were dating, did you start having, what kind of conversations did you have when it comes to the topic of money? Like, did you discuss finances or, ask about each other's debt stories, or if you had debt, or what kind of money conversations did you have, if you had any, that is, before getting married?
So we definitely had it before we got married, right?
Yeah.
We definitely had it before we got married. How soon into the dating? I would say 3 months, but I don't know. I think it was very organic for me. And one of the things I liked financially anyway is that she was into saving. She liked the idea of saving and having savings and having money and stuff. So I like that, and I think I think we never had any big discussions, but I think for us it was things that transpired over the dating period, and things that we saw in each other. But we did talk about, this was a good one. Do you mind if I earn more than you? I did. I asked him. I said, "So you
asked him that? That's a good question."
Because it matters for some people. It really does matter. Do you mind if I earn more than you? And do you care? And his answer was, to be transparent. He was like, as long as it's not too much more than me.
To be honest,
It's like, as long as it's not too much more than me. But, you know, yeah, we ask these questions, you know, but what we didn't really speak about too much was debt, because none of us had really any debt at that point. But as far as like we buying a house, but we didn't like sit down and think of a 5-year plan or anything like that. We just kind of
but then there were things about how I handled money. I guess that was transparent to you. And so one of the things I used to do.
But maybe Tolu will have another question that fits that one better. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Don't go ask my questions. But yeah, no, that is interesting. So you didn't have too many. Well, you had conversations in terms of like you could see that she was responsible with money, and you could see that you could see each other were responsible with money, and you asked them that question, which is a very good question actually, whether or not he would mind you earning more, and he was cool with that to an extent.
To an extent.
But did I ask you how much you earned and stuff like that? Did I know how much you earned? I can't.
While we're dating,
I'm not sure.
I think once we get engaged,
probably because we'd have to plan for the wedding. But I didn't really know definitively he earns this much a year. But it wasn't, you know, when we first got married, it wasn't much. I didn't marry him because he had a lot of money for sure.
Trust me, it wasn't that much.
He had a lot of money. So you know, back, you know, sometimes you see your own wage slips and you're like, is that how much you earn?
How did we do it? Trust me, it's mad.
Wow, how did I ever go to work for that?
How did I have a whole wedding on that budget?
Literally. With our chest so high,
Seriously, I don't even know how much you spent, but it was peanuts compared to what people spend these days.
For sure.
Back then, before that's a lot of money to be spending on a wedding. So
can I tell you? House deposit money that. So
insane. Okay, so in terms of conversations around money, so obviously you've had those conversations, but did you speak about, especially when you got married? So like once you said I do, so okay, now we're married. Like, what's our plan for the next 5 years? Like, where do we see ourselves financially in 5 years? Did you guys have any kind of plan like that in place to begin with?
Yeah, I think we planned it also around having children. So we wanted the first 2 years, we said, okay, we're not going to have any kids. We just wanted to get to know each other and stuff. And then one of the things that we always wanted to do was to be able to buy our own house. What exactly that looked like, I don't think we had an active plan.
No, we didn't like have a 5-year plan, but we just knew we wanted.
This is where we were going.
Yeah.
It was definitely like we knew this is where we're going.
Yeah.
In a couple of years, in a few years, we want to own our own home.
Yeah.
And everything else. And then
save. But, we weren't really thinking anything much past that.
Okay, so then with that being said, so the first 5 years, you kind of had an idea of where you wanted to go. You guys were both of you working at the time, I assume? Yeah. And how far into the marriage did you have your first child, sorry?
2.5 years.
2.5 years, yeah.
Okay, so after 2.5 years, So then at that time, you now went on maternity leave.
Yeah. So that was a bit different because we just bought a house. So we just bought this house, and then I went on maternity leave. So that really did change the dynamic of stuff because you get a lot less pay, and it's working out. I guess by that time we were already in debt, and I guess that's probably a lot of where we saw the debt stick around, but not necessarily because I was on maternity leave, but just because of
one less income.
So I think my question actually was, how did the whole debt journey start? Because from what you're saying at the beginning, none of you had debt.
No. So I would say this, at the beginning, the only person that had a credit card was me. And this is what were you going to say? Yeah, when we first got married, Chris was like, I don't walk with my wallet. And I'm like, you don't walk with your wallet? What are you talking about? What if there's an emergency? How can you not walk with your wallet? And I gave him a really hard time at it. And he was like, well, if I don't have my wallet on me, then I don't spend money.
So I was trying to figure out, what do you do then? Okay.
And he's like, whatever cash I have. But I was like, no, I was dead. And I had a credit card, but I would always pay it off. So at the end of the month, the balance would be cleared. And it went on like that when we first got married for a little while. Until and random stuff would go on, like car repairs and all this sort of kind of semi-big things, but because we weren't actively looking at our money and saving, or even if we were saving, what we were trying to do is get all the rewards. Oh, you get a little thing here, a little thing there, free pizza here, you know. And so we're like, okay, well, you can use that and then pay it off, and then you get the reward. So we're trying to kind of play that.
There?
Oh, your line's cutting.
Hello, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah. But we didn't really get into that. The debt started sticking around, and then when I went on maternity leave, I think that probably really did.
So it was, I think, also getting a new house and stuff. So we just had enough for the deposit, and everything else. And then by the time we paid for solicitors, right. By the time we paid for that, it's like, okay, cool, we've paid everybody, but now we have nothing to put into this house.
Yeah, and our house was a new house, so we wanted to make it how we wanted. So stuff from that would go on the credit card, and before you know it, Tolu, like we couldn't clear it, like.
Yeah. And your story sounds so similar to my own.
It's crazy. Like, I remember the first time I had to pay interest, I called the bank. I was like, excuse me, excuse me, we have a problem here. You've
added money to it.
Yeah, you've added money, like, and they're like, okay, we'll reverse it this one time, but please be aware that this is how it works.
Oh, they reversed it.
I was like,
okay.
Okay, cool. So yeah, they did reverse it one time for me, because I was just.
It was the first time.
It was the first time in about. I had it when I went to university, so it was the first time in about 7 years that I paid interest. I was just beside myself, like, what you want to do? Yeah, you soon get used to it, like paying the interest, then it started to be, I'll pay a chunk, then it started to be minimum payments, and then you add more debt to it. You go on holidays. We got a new car. I did a course that I didn't finish.
Oh Lord.
£3,500.
Wow.
Hush, babe. Hush, it's all right. $3,500.
That's the word to say.
Listen. So, before you know it, you look around and it's like, what's going on here?
And then I think we also fell into the trap of moving the money to different credit.
The balance
transfers, and also with no interest periods, and stuff. And then literally just getting a new credit card account so that
they increase the balance a little bit as well, don't they?
Exactly. And that's the thing. I think that's really what trapped us for a long time, because it really makes you feel like you're doing something, because the balance is gone, it's down to zero, and we would even sometimes close those cards. But when you transferred it, and then the time would go and you realize I haven't actually cleared it, like you said, Tolu, I put more on it, and now I need to get. But I just like to point out the credit cards were never in Chrissy's name; they were always in my name. So,
oh wow!
I know, right?
Yeah.
No, right.
But we did have a big loan in Chrissy's name, though. Yeah, we did have a big loan in Chrissy's name, but it was just like, ooh, how? I mean, it got to a point like, how are we going to clear this? Because now we can't get any more credit cards, and the interest-free period is finishing, and I'm trying to split the debt between credit cards, put 800 there, 600 there, 1,000 there. Okay, and then that will give me this long. No, it was.
How many cards did you have at this point?
Oh, wow.
Halifax, 2 Tesco credit cards, American Express card that I thought I was fancy with, MBNA card.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, there was a few of them. There's 5. Halifax.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
So then, what was the turning point? So like, what was it, like what you just saying, the fact that you realizing that, okay, this thing is getting too much, or was there a specific incident or a particular moment that you're like, okay, no, enough is enough, this is breaking point, I'm going to fix this kind of thing? Yeah.
So what happened was, I love this day, and it makes me smile because it was just like I was listening to a lady, she's a YouTuber called How Jen Does It, and she was talking about how her and her husband are paying off their house really early, and they're very aggressive with it. And she talked about how she listens to a guy called Dave Ramsey. So I'm like, Dave Ramsey, who's this Dave Ramsey? And so I Google Dave Ramsey. I'm like, is he married? Is he got a mistress? Why does all this Like,
you did all the background
I tried
checks.
to do background checks, like who is he, what's he about, what's his net worth, like. And then I found a video on YouTube, and he's talking about how people get into debt and how they need to get out of debt, and they need to be very intense with it and very intentional about it.
Yeah.
And literally, Tolu, about 3 minutes into, he's talking about how this lion is chasing this gazelle, but the gazelle has to really go hard at trying to escape from the lion. And I literally just paused it, and Chris wasn't home, and I paused it until he came home, because I was like, I'm not listening to the rest of this until Chris is back. Yeah. And so I waited till he got home, and I was like, babe, we need to listen to this together.
Yeah, I came in, she was like, you need to sit down. You know, you come home as a husband, and your wife tells you need to sit down. You're like, oh,
you'll forget all my days.
You know, I'm going through the list. What have I done? What have I said? What's going on? Yeah. You know, and everything else and stuff. And she's, you know, she literally said, let's sit down and watch this. And to be completely honest with you, I think where I was personally when it came to debt, now I was always kind of raised to avoid debt and not to, I didn't like owing anybody anything, right? But to kind of show you where things got to, at that point, I was, the debt was just something that I'd learned to live with, right? You know, I'd learned to live with, and I guess part of the problem for me, part of the reasoning behind it was the fact that I knew people in work who were in debt. I knew people, my you know, people in work and other peers and people in church were in debt and stuff. So for me, it was the fact that, okay, yeah, other people are in debt, so surely it's not that bad.
Can't be that bad.
And we're paying the minimum payments.
So and we do something about it.
And our minimum payments at this point, may I add, were close to £500 a month. £500 to lose. That's like
minimum payment.
Minimum. The minimum them
so it's not even doing anything.
Because what happened was we got a car that was £160 a month. Then we had our loan that was £264 a month, plus all the little credit cards. By the time you add up the little £20, it was £400 and odd a month that we had to pay. You had to, like, because we've never not paid a bill, to be fair, but like, you know, it's too much. So that moment where we got our credit cards out and we cut them up, we were just so sick of them. And it was like, it's just not going to be a safety net anymore. I'm so sorry. A holiday is not a safety net, sorry. Going to Turkey is not a safety net. Do you know what I mean? Buying this is not, and sometimes buying McDonald's is not a safety net. But you said you're buying it, you're using it as a safety net if there's an emergency. McDonald's.
But
that's not an emergency, no.
But that's, you know.
I think as well, the thing as well was the fact that we're both really hardworking in our jobs and our careers and our children and stuff. And then at the end of every month, it's like, we literally, like, at the end of every month,
you didn't have any money. You didn't have any money left
because we had to pay. And so you get really frustrated because you're going to work, you're grinding, you're waking up early, doing whatever you need to do, putting shifts in. X, Y, Z and stuff, and at the end of the month you still don't have anything to show for, and then you look on your savings account and you don't really have any savings account. You know, you look in what it's called savings account, but you look there and it's just
nothing,
nothing there.
And you know, when we got the car out, I just want to say, when we got the car out as well, that loan was like £164 a month, right? And I mean, I said to Chris, I was like, this is a thing that I think women, we do sometimes. We feel so emotional about something because our car, the brake started slipping, and I was like, do you not care about your son? Your son is in that car, and what if the brake slips? We need to go get it. But it's like, did you really need to go get that car? No, but it's like, I justified it.
But you can justify it to yourself.
And, you know, almost started emotionally blackmailing him, like, oh, you know, what, and it's like, you know, not that, you know, he signed up for it as well, but it was just like, and then later on, it's like, but new cars break down, Stacey.
Trust me, we found out.
That car, it cost us more than, like, a repair on it would be like £600, and we're like, credit card, there you go.
So all this time we were literally working and giving away this money at the end of the month, and literally,
and that's part of. Yeah, I was gonna say that's partly why you will justify it to yourself as well. So the from Stacey, it's like, I work so hard. I work so hard every single month. I wake up every morning, I'm going to work and I'm coming home. The least I can do is treat myself to a nice car. Why shouldn't I have
That's
this?
it. That's it. And
I think I should have it.
And we're not people necessarily, we don't like necessarily designer stuff or flashy stuff too tough,
No.
but we do like experiences. So if you book a holiday, yes, we will book a holiday. Like, you know, the amount of holidays we've been on the credit card, I'll be honest, it's a lot of holidays, you know what I mean? Like, we count them and we're kind of proud of them, but sometimes we think, why? It's the spending money as well sometimes, you know?
Oh, 100%. We've done the same thing. Like, we'll book the holiday with our pay, but the spending money will be all on when we get paid or on the credit card. And be like, when we get back, we'll pay it off. So, yeah, I could totally relate to all of what you guys are saying.
So it was really tough. I don't think it was putting on a strain on our marriage per se like that, but it was tough in that I remember getting to that point and I looked in the spreadsheet and I tallied it up and it was £14,000 and I was just like,
yeah. And come on, I mean, at that point, we just thought that we never thought it was that much.
No,
because there were so many different cards. And stuff.
Right?
We never really until we sat down and we added it all together. We never really saw.
We never thought
how
it was
much
that
it
much.
was, you know.
No,
and I think that was a real shock.
It was. I was surprised. I think we knew how much was on each card, but we never tallied it up to say, look, remember you've got a 14k loan that you took out to pay off for this car because you worked it out that it would be better to pay less interest by taking a bank loan and rates, you know, and you did this uni course that you're not going to finish, $3,500 there. Like, you know, it happens.
So
you don't realize it because it's increments, isn't it? So it's like $3,000 here, $5,000 there. It doesn't seem so bad, but when you add it together, you're like,
exactly.
So that's exactly what happened.
And bear in mind, this started off with a £500 credit card.
That's how it started.
That's how it started.
That's how it started.
You know,
that's how it started.
It's really I think God knew probably maybe would have got to that point where we would have been at each other because at the end of the day, who else are you going to look at? He's going to look at me and say, you wanted this, you did this, and I'm going to look at him and say, well, you're the man, you're supposed to lead. So you know,
absolutely.
So how were you guys able to do it then? Like, how were you able to pay off 14 grand in the space of, what was it, 19 months? You guys did it?
19 months. Wow, where did we start? I think the main thing was after watching that video and stuff, and we just made up our mind that we're gonna. I think we accepted the fact that we were in a hole, right? We accepted the fact that we were in £14,000 worth of debt in a hole, and that was I think the problem sometimes is when people don't want to accept where they're at.
Yes.
And we just had to be honest with ourselves, you know, that look, this is the mess that we are in, you know, and we have no one else but ourselves to blame for that. And stuff, you know, I could moan about not getting pay rises at work and blah blah blah. Oh, I'm in a dead end job and XYZ. But ultimately, it was me going out spending the money. It was us going on holidays, you know what I mean, and everything else. And so I think it started off with us, even though it was a bit of a shock, right? The 14,000, but it was like, man.
You know what is? And tell you, to be honest, I don't think we realized how much £14,000 was until we started paying it off. You see what I'm saying? Because to you, like, even if anybody's listening and they're all £5,000, they're all £3,000, like, I don't actually think we realize how much £3,000 is until you start paying it off and you realize
it's a lot of money.
It's so crazy that, isn't it? When the money's not yours, you can spend it so easily. Like when you're swiping that McDonald's, swiping, seem that big. But when you're paying it back, it's
you realize. So I think that was part of the problem. I think when you see the numbers, when you get your statement and you see the numbers on the paper, sometimes you don't really deep. 14 grand was like maybe Chrissy's whole wage when we first got married for a year. For a year, like that's a lot. How can you just be rolling around with money debt like that? It's not. So that was the start.
To start with us accepting the fact that we're in a hole. And then the second thing is we did, and I think this was very important that we did it. Straight away was cut up the credit cards.
Yeah, we had to.
So it was.
Did we make like a promise to each other? A pinky promise? I'm sure we did something silly like that.
We said like, look, we're gonna promise each other to do the best we
touch it again.
Never get to that again and stuff. And then we went into the kitchen and we got the big scissors and stuff, and it was like should we do it? Should we do it? And we just kind of
got all the cards out.
Just got all the cards, and we just did it.
Yeah.
Cut them up one by one, and you know, it felt so good. It felt so.
Yeah, it was scary to begin with because
I'm thinking hard because at the time were you not relying on those cards for anything, or was it like for additional things that you were using them for at the time?
No, we weren't reliant on it, but it almost was like you made a choice that no matter what, these are not an option. So if it means I have to go without food, these are not an option. Like we have to,
figure it out another way.
We have to figure if the car breaks down, then you have to get the bus for a little bit. You have to walk for a little bit. You have to work. We just made up our mind. You're gonna have to do something else, but those are not an option no more. So,
because I'll be completely honest, had we not cut the credit cards and stuff, and something happened, it was our go-to default. Thing, right? And so that was it. So it was a bit scary to begin with because stuff creeps into your mind. And you do think, what if the children, the poor children, they won't have anything to eat. The children and stuff, and then all these fear can begin to enter your mind, and all these unreasonable scenarios. What if tomorrow I lose my job and then now I don't have a credit card.
I don't have a safety net.
Yeah, and stuff. And so it was but once we did it, there was something about it that was good. That really felt kind of good. Like, okay, this is the first step. And we are proud. Dave Ramsey followers, and so obviously his principles of the baby steps and getting out of debt and stuff.
And what was also good is when we saved our first £1,000. Like if anybody doesn't know the baby steps, it's one of the first one is save £1,000. Oh my days! When you save that first £1,000, what?
How long did it take?
Can anybody talk to you? Maybe 2-3 months. 2-3 months. Nobody can talk to you.
Exactly.
Like, you feel like you're a millionaire. I've got a grand in my bank. Like you know what I mean. From being not having any savings and having that £1,000, it was everything.
And you know what was interesting is that during that time, what we classed as an emergency changed.
That's right?
So once upon a time, if something happened and it was it's an emergency. But now it just meant that
now it's your money.
It's that £1,000 would go down to £700. We're like, let's just think about it. Is this really an emergency?
Yeah. When it's your money that you're spending.
Listen, you're more thoughtful and more considerate before you spend that money. So like my hair that needs to be done for £700 is never
No, it's okay.
I'm gonna watch YouTube and do it myself.
And I think what really helped me was using cash. I will say that I do agree that using cards, what happens is that you don't feel it as much. But what we would do is do our budget, withdraw all the money out, and I would get a little pocket, and I used to walk around very embarrassedly with little A5 pockets with cash in it, and I'd look a right fool at the shop pulling out this A5 pocket with money in it and coins in it and being at the till. And I know I have my card there, I can just swipe my card. But when I went over budget, I really felt it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I knew, boy, that means next week I have to cut down a little bit. Whereas if it's on my card, it's a £5. It's a £5. So using cash really helped me, and I swear by that. Like, use the cash.
I think the budget was also very crucial because it was kind of before that we kind of did the budgeting, but it was very much a case for me anyway. For me, it was a case of let me just quickly glance over and stuff. But we did
or it was will we have enough?
Will we
to cover everything that's going to come out of the bank.
So it wasn't really detailed and stuff, and so we sat down and we said, okay, every pound has to be spent, has to have an assignment and stuff like that, and all the money was kind of accounted for, and to be honest with you as well, when we then also canceled anything that wasn't worthwhile.
We cancelled
some of these subscriptions had to go.
We got the kids involved. I remember one month we saved £26. So I can still remember. Can you see? I can still remember we saved £26 something, and we got the kids, and we're like, you know what? Because we've been good, we've saved this much money, and we went on to to a website, and we got some zoo tickets for cheap, and we all went to the zoo together, and it was just like it was so. I just always remember that because I was just like, we worked together as a team, we saved money, And look, this is what you can now enjoy. Do you know what I mean?
Without the guilt. Yeah.
We get our kids involved. We tell our kids we're debt free. Like, you know, we tell my parents, and you know, let's get everybody involved, especially the kids, though. You know, because change it for them.
So in terms of paying off the debt, then in terms of how you guys were able to obviously pay off 14K, was it? So I think I've covered all what you said.
So we had to get Chris worked like 7 days a week. At one point he'd work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. Then on Saturday he would go and deliver parcels for Hermes. Then on Sunday he'd be preaching, and I would be delivering parcels Monday to Saturday as well. And Sunday we'd have church. And I mean, I hope it was intense. You know, I would take my little daughter along with me. God help me. Anybody report me. It's too late. I'm in Hamburg now. Ain't nothing to do. You know what I mean? But I would take my little daughter along with me, and she was fine. You know, God helped us. She's, you know, I think it depends on the temperament of your kids. Do you know what I mean? But you know, she was young. She would sleep a lot and stuff, and we just worked as much as we could, spend as little as we could, and as soon as we could pay off, just like we pay our mortgage, we'd pay it. We wouldn't wait till the end of the month to see what's left over. What's left over? Nothing's left over, you know that already. So we would pay it early. And you know, and as time went on, we because I feel like traditional banks, they don't really help you with budgeting well. So we moved over to a bank called Monzo, and Monzo has pots. So now what I do is I put my money in pots, and I use the money out the pot. So I use my card now. I don't use my cash anymore. But I use my, you know, I have a food pot, a household pot, personal pot, and I'll use the money out the pots and keep it. And then our joint account, only the bills come out of there. So that really helped as well. We don't use a joint account for normal day-to-day spending. Just the bills come out of there. And then you have your own cards. We have a joint account. Everything goes in there. We have our own cards. I get my little allowance, him get him little allowance. And when your money done, your money done. So
that's it.
I think we also had to be strict with each other. So, you know, if it's not in the budget, hey, you just have to wait. Maybe next month we can put in the budget. You know, it was like, you know, you just have to hold on, you know.
Do you have an emergency fund now? So that was one of the questions that popped up.
Yeah, we're saving. That's our we're close to, because we've just moved. It's kind of up and down, but we're close to getting the money together. We're getting the coins together, guys. We're getting the coins. 3 to 6 months, 3 to 6 months. But we have a little emergency fund, probably maybe closer to the 3 months, and it feels good. It feels good, and you know, things happen now, and it's like we just pay for it. Do you know what I mean? And to the point, I tell you what, where I was scared with the credit cards is we go on holidays a lot and hiring cars. And anybody that's worrying, you can hire cars with debit cards. We've not had a credit card, and we've gone on holiday and we've driven cars, and not once have we ever used our credit card. We've always used our debit card. Avis accepts it, and there's other companies that accept it, and Enterprise, and we've been fine, never had any problems with it. Because that was my big worry, you know, like what will happen. And we just find a company, and it's never really cost us anymore. So because usually the companies that do better coverage take cards, so they'll take the card. And booking holidays as well. You can and the thing is, you get people like, oh, what about your insurance? What if anything happens? You get the same coverage on your debit card, guys. Like you honestly do. You can do something called a chargeback. Google it. It's not as easy as on your credit card, but you do have protection from your bank on a debit card. To a certain extent, just like
not as much. Okay, that's good. And in terms of challenges and stuff that you guys faced along the way, were there any that you had that you can share?
Yeah, I think where do I start? I think I think obviously for me, you know, when it came to work lunches, I want to say sorry. Sorry. It's okay. Having, you know, my wife cooked great food, and I would just bring lunches from home to work, and I'll eat it, and they'll be like, hey Chris, everybody's going out to so and so, and I'll literally like, it's not in the budget, so have a good time guys and stuff. And it was challenging because you do feel the peer pressure in the workplace, that all your mates and everybody's going out, and the thing about the workplace is that everybody loves to splash money. Like everybody loves to act like they've got it, but you know.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing for me was just sticking to the budget. And for anybody that is bad at sticking to, I'm bad at sticking to the budget. But somehow, as you trip and stumble, I kind of see myself tripping and stumble. But we still got there. I didn't get it. Hardly 1 month did I get it perfect. Let me just be transparent. A lot of times I went over, but I think I just wasn't, because I was paying attention. It was never as, it might be like £5-10 over, but it's never, or £100, but it wasn't going into debt, and it wasn't £1,000 over. So I just think, just keep budgeting, even if you get it wrong, even if you mess up, keep doing the budget. It will really help. It just puts a guardrail around you. So that was the hard bit for me, sticking to that budget way.
And in terms of the relationship with you guys, did the debt impact you guys at all, or how was it? I think at the beginning, because we don't have really fights, but our biggest fight, and I stormed out the house. I was like, and I wanted to take out another credit card to try and solve. And Chris was like, no, this is enough. We have enough credit cards. And I was like, he's like, look at how you're behaving. Well, if you think I'm behaving like that, I'll behave like that. Slam the door and walk. I don't know where I was going. I don't know. But, I was going somewhere. And so that was, we never really had any big fights, but just before, I think that was the closest to. But during it, we kind of were just so focused that, and we're not massive spenders on stuff anyways, more on experience. So we knew we weren't going on no holidays. So to fight about. That's good. So, and I guess because you both came to the revelation together, or like you both decided and agreed straight away, that's probably why it wasn't so bad for you guys, because it's like, no, we both decided today that we're going to face. That's it. I guess the challenge can come when, and we just like, we listened to Dave Ramsey all day, every day, indoctrinate our minds. We feel like we, everything we say is what, and you just can't listen to what people say as well. Like, we had a lot of naysayers and stuff like, I don't care what you want to say, you ain't got to pay £500 a month. So between us, not really.
Between us, not really. It was more
more other people,
other people, and they look at like,
when you say other people, is it other people telling you not to pay off the debt, or other people?
Or like you can use that money better, or you can leverage your money, or you can move it onto a balance transfer. Have you not just heard I said I've got how many balance transfers out? Are you not listening? They don't work.
Oh, the best one was that 14,000, mate. That's not that much.
You have to be careful.
And I was like, wait, hold on. So how much? And to them, it wasn't that much. But
to us,
for us, it was like, wow, it's a big deal,
But for between the two of us, it wasn't really. I can't remember any big arguments. Maybe I want to have a Chinese, and Chris is like, "Do you have the budget money?" I'm like, "Nah, still." So no Chinese today. But it wasn't too bad in that regard.
No,
that's good.
Yeah.
So any questions, guys? If you have any, just to say, guys watching, if you have any questions, drop them in the question box below, because I've got a couple more to ask Stacey and Chris. So let me know if you guys have any more questions in the comment section below. So you can get involved in the conversation too, because I'm sure there's so much you guys want to know. But in terms of now, obviously, fast forward, thank God you made it through. You paid off the 14,000. Oh, did I mention, guys, that they were on Dave Ramsey's page, Instagram? He featured them when they page and scroll down to, when was it?
When that message,
earlier, maybe January.
It was later, like maybe February, March time.
Scroll down on his page. See them.
When that message came through, I screamed. And when we cleared off the debt, we were like, we're debt free. And then when we got that as well, it just the feeling, the weight, not owing anybody any, our son would practice saying it, and I remember the first time we said to him, Gabriel, we've paid off all our debt. And he's like, well done, mommy and daddy, we're debt free. And he could say, and
that is amazing.
It does transfer onto our kids, Gabriel,
it's amazing. You can give him that.
It is 100%. Like, he wanted a Switch, and they're very expensive. And so I said, look, mommy's working. I said, but I just want to see what he's going to say. So I said, but I can put it on my credit card if you want it now, and then we'll pay it off little. He's like, no, we'll wait for it. And I was like, wow, you're willing to wait for something rather than having gratification right away. Then I was like, yes,
you've done a good job. You've taught him something. That's amazing.
That way.
But do you remember when the last payment we sent?
Yeah.
And I think it took a while for it to sink in.
Yeah, it takes a while. Yeah.
The hold on, we
it's
done anything,
Yeah.
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 No, there's a question that popped up asking about the Monzo system. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, Monzo is a new bank, but it's fully insured on the all online bank. It's fully insured and everything like that. And we think they're great. We've used it all the time over in Germany. They're just awesome. Wixink knows about them as well. Like they're just
yeah. No, I use Monzo
Google
too.
them. I'll give you a referral.
I wanted to say that, but I thought maybe you can have a few things to say. But yeah, Google Monzo. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You can have like loads of pots, like what Stacey was saying, and stuff like that. And it's really,
they're just
really
a normal bank, though. They're just a normal bank. Your wage can go into it and stuff like that. We've spoken to a friend, and all he said is obviously they're a newer bank. So what he advised us is to keep all our direct debits with the same things, but use them for your personal allowances. Because if you want a mortgage or anything like that, I don't know how it would work. Because but yeah. So
but for anyone who loves traveling, honestly, we went to America and Jamaica earlier this year. Hardly had to.
And we don't take any cash. We don't take, for the last 3 holidays, we haven't took cash with us. We've just used our Monzo card. Not even to Jamaica or to America did we take any pounds or British money or US money. We just use Monzo.
Amazing. No, that's amazing. Okay, so one more question I have for you guys before I take one more question from the guys out there was just advice that you guys would give, because obviously 10 years married, 10 months dating, so almost 11 years together. You guys have been in debt, paid off so much debt together as a team. So what advice would you give, first of all, to your young self going back, like before you got married, what you would do differently, or advice you would give basically in terms of managing money in marriage?
I would definitely say I would tell myself, make up your mind not to go into debt. Don't go into debt. Start saving and start investing early. If there's anybody listening, if you're young and you don't have any debt and you have a little bit, go and find a good person to invest in. We have a friend and he is an wealth manager. Manages millions of pounds of wealth. And people who have 20 million, 100 million are asking him questions. And I just thought, well, look at that. These people who have millions of pounds still will get advice. Look and little us who, so find somebody, start investing young, and save. But most of all, I would say stay away from debt. And save 10% of your wage, save something, but save it and don't touch it, and stay out of debt. Stay out of debt. And if you're dating somebody, I think what I would say as well is, if you're dating somebody, like for everything in dating, you always see signs. And like with Chris, I think I could see he was hardworking. He had his own car. He had paid for himself. He didn't mind having a little scruffy car because that's what he could afford. I like that sort of stuff. So I think, just look out for the signs that shows you whether they're good or bad with money, and don't ignore them.
Yes.
And talk about debt. Student loan is, different in the UK, but find out if they have any debt. But as a couple, join everything up. You are one. Joint accounts, everything, you know what I mean? And because if you don't want to have joint accounts, I do agree with Dave, that's not a money issue. You have something more, because everything you want now.
The best advice we got.
You won now. So put everything together, but stay out of debt. Stay out of debt and just save, and don't look and watch nobody. Don't look at other people. Don't come off Instagram. Stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing everybody else's holidays. I fall victim. Look on Tulu. Tulu's like, who is that? Look, I don't look like this normally, but
She does.
only at conference, but stop comparing yourself to other people and what they have. They have a nice car. Like, there's so many people have nice cars, and I just look and I just think, but I could have it as well, but for I don't know how they get it. For how I would want to get it, I couldn't just go and buy it. So careful how you look on people.
What about you, Chris?
For advice I can give is I think like Stacey said, to be resolute about not as a couple not going into debt. I think in our society, especially here, debt is acceptable. And stuff, and they tell you can have this, you can have that, and I think I would definitely say to be resolute, and because it was a fight to get out of debt, and even now we still have to be very resolute about that, because the opportunity to get into debt, it's so much around us, and stuff. So definitely be resolute about getting into debt, and and not to be scared to having these uncomfortable money conversations, you know, and stuff. And I think also I would say for us as well to dream more, you know, to dream more, as in like what you can earn and what does it take for you to earn that much and stuff.
And you can be a millionaire and you can make it. And why am I doing this? You know, I always think, I want to leave each of my kids a house. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what are your dreams? I want each of my kids to live. I want to be able to do so much and give so much money in God's ministry and, you know, help people and adopt children and help, you know, in Ghana, in Jamaica, where we're from, like sponsor kids. Like, these are big dreams that we have, and they're very important as well.
You can't do those dreams broke.
No.
No, very true. Very true. I just had a couple of questions that have come through, but I'm conscious that we have 5 minutes, so we're going to have to answer them as quickly as we can. So the first one was, do you have a mortgage, or do you prefer staying debt-free by renting?
Well, we do have a mortgage. We Help to Buy scheme. It's okay, they're all right. And what I would say is we're close to paying off ours. We've been very close. Maybe we're hoping in the next 3 years we'll be able to clear off that bit of it, and then we'll just have a little bit for the government loans to sort out. But yeah, we're intentional about paying that thing off. Maybe like not a lot of money left. Yeah, less than 50 grand, and we're hoping to get that.
Wow.
Like
I wish that is a dream for me.
Yeah, you're in London. You're in London. You're in London.
Yeah, I guess that's the perks of being up in the Midlands, isn't it?
Yeah. But you know what? I would say there's nothing wrong with renting. Absolutely rent. Yeah, absolutely rent until you can afford to buy. Never buy before you can afford it, because it will cost you more. Renting is cheaper than buying when you look on. If you can, you know, it's not just, yes, it's an investment, but you've got to be able to afford it. You know what I mean? There's real cost so don't do it too early.
I agree with you. And somebody's just asked, like, where do they begin in terms of becoming debt free?
Go check out Dave Ramsey, check out Tolu's page, check out other people in the debt free communities page, and collect all your debts together. Definitely. We can definitely have a conversation in the DMs. So yeah, slide in my DMs. We can definitely have a conversation. Yes, ask Tolu.
It's definitely possible. It's definitely doable if you're willing to do the work. Yeah, 100%.
But you've got to tune out all the noise of everybody else and think, I want to do this. Yeah, definitely.
And with that being said, guys, we've only got a couple more minutes, so I don't want us to run out of time and get kicked out of the conversation. But thank you so much, Stacey and Chris, for coming on and being so open, sharing your story. Like, you guys have been amazing. Like, it's not
we've loved it.
And Tolu, keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, Tolu.
I think this is a very important work you're doing.
It is.
And one of the things that helped us to clear our debt is having people like you on our social medias, podcasts, and stuff like that we were listening to. That gave us encouragement that we can do it, and so keep doing the awesome work that you're doing.
I'm a Tolu super fan. She knows it. I'm always bothering her.
Thank you for all the support. And just in terms of everyone that's on here at the moment, that if you are in debt or you're thinking of, you know, how can I do it? First steps, I think, is like Chris mentioned earlier, is the whole acknowledging where you are. Like, I think that's the first step. It's like, okay, there's this issue that I really need to deal with. How can I deal with it? I'm gonna admit that there's a problem that I want to deal with. That's literally the first step, I think, is the acknowledging it, admitting it. And then once you've acknowledged it, admitted it to yourself, list down all the debts you have, exactly how much it is you owe. That moment in itself is life-changing. That's when you really realize how bad it is. And it's like, okay, now I've seen it in black and white, I need to do something about it. And it's like, then the next step is
accountability.
Accountability is so crucial. It definitely helps. So like with me, I had Isaac, so he was like, we did it together, so we were doing it as a team. But if you don't have a spouse, or you don't have a partner, a sister, brother, a family member, or friend, then there's people like myself that I'm happy to be your accountability partner. And there's so many other people in the personal finance community that can literally be there to help you, like hold your hand kind of thing on that journey. Because, it's a long road, but it's a road that we can all get to the other side of. So,
and it will help other people. It will help other people. Our parents have just paid off their mortgage three years early. It helps other people, so it will spread.
No, 100%. It's so good. So and I've got in my bio, there's a free budget template if you guys haven't seen it yet, so you can download a copy of that and use that. Budget is so crucial, it's so important. That definitely helped us a lot on our journey. But thank you guys again.
Thank you, Tolu.
My first international guest. Fantastic.
Thank you so much for having us.
There was one more question, but I don't think we're going to have time to answer it, unfortunately. But yeah, sorry, they're going to have to slide in their DMs, definitely Lanors, and they could definitely answer any of the questions you have. But until next week, guys, thank you so
ask
much.
any questions. We're here to answer any questions.
Yes, slide in their DMs, message. They can help you.
In there, man.
You can all get involved. We can have a conversation. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Lovely.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.